Okay. Hello, I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and it's time to take a look at what happened at the Royal Rumble 2018. So overall, it was a really strong show. Which isn't to say there weren't a few confusing things that happened, we'll get to those a little bit later, but yeah, it's been a hell of a fun night, and I think what the Royal Rumble should be. I'm going to take this off now, and we will start with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn challenging AJ Styles for the WWE title. So normally I would be upset by the WWE title match being the first thing on the card. The WWE title match or the Universal title match should be the last thing on. It's the most prestigious thing. It's the thing that all of the wrestlers are fighting for. So don't put it on first. Make it feel big. However, in this case, it's a little bit different. This year, of course, saw the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, as well as the Universal title being defended. And on top of that, you've got the Men's Royal Rumble match too. So something has to go on first. And I think that AJ Styles taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the WWE title is actually a really great way to get the crowd energetic and hot. The match itself did start off slow. There was a fantastic spot where Kevin Owens flipped AJ and then AJ caught Sami and hit him with a Hurricanrana. It was fantastic. As you would expect from AJ, Sami and Owens, the match itself was a really entertaining one. It built to a really clever ending where AJ rolled up Owens, got the 3 count, but Sami was the legal man. So AJ retains the title, the ref made the call, but of course Sami and Owens are absolutely livid that they have lost their opportunity to co-own the WWE title. I really like the ending. It's a story that I think a lot of people are a little bit confused by, especially with Shane's role in the whole thing, but most of us are quite enjoying it, and I'm keen to see where that goes next. Next up was the SmackDown Tag Team title match. It was Gable and Benjamin versus the Usos in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, this was Gable and Benjamin's opportunity to prove themselves. I don't think they've been the most compelling of characters, and I think Gable especially has lost a lot of momentum since we found out that Jason Jordan was in fact Kurt Angle's son. So I was expecting Gable and Benjamin to have quite a strong showing here. I didn't especially know if they were going to win, but I expected them to pick up at least one of the 3 possible falls. That didn't happen. It's a shame because Gable, especially I think in the last few weeks, has been picking up a bit of traction. He's been getting more crowd reactions. And worse, it looked like that was going to happen, like they were going to be given that opportunity. There were false finishes galore during the first of the falls. Then the Usos, one of them hit a splash, super kick, super kick, super kick, and they picked up the first fall. Not a problem. I thought that Gable and Benjamin were going to be then chasing the second and third falls. No. The match was picking up. The next thing you know, they're back in the ring, roll up, the match is over. Jay and Jimmy Uso have won the match 2 falls to 0. After so many great recent Uso matches, this felt underwhelming, it felt flat. It's a shame, and I feel especially for Gable, who I feel like he's had the rug pulled out from under him. Next up is the Men's Royal Rumble match, 30 entrants. Number 1 is Rusev, and my word, this man is over. The Rusev Day chants are not going anywhere. Number 2, Finn Balor. These two scrap out for a little bit and the crowd are absolutely hot, as you would expect. And then 3, 2, 1, number 3 is the human cube that is Rhino. An odd choice, but fair enough. Then comes Baron Corbin, who immediately eliminates Rhino, only for Baron Corbin himself to be immediately eliminated by Finn. Corbin then attacked Finn. It was really good stuff. Next up was Heath Slater, number 5, who was attacked on the ramp. It looked like he was going to be the next Curtis Axel and never actually make it into the match itself, or rather, never be eliminated. I've still got your back, Curtis. Then came Elias, who, fortunately, because everyone was down, had a good chance to sing, only to be interrupted by number 7, Andrade Cien Almas, who had a hell of a showing last night. NXT champion, makes his way to the ring. It was really, really fantastic. If you didn't see the match from NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, you need to go back and watch that now. Then comes Bray Wyatt, who cares? Then comes Big E, who feeds Heath Slater some pancakes. It was really funny. Then, number 10, it's Ty Dillinger, except it's not. For the second year in a row, it looked like Ty Dillinger was going to take that number 10 spot. However, cut to backstage, he's been attacked by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Sami takes his place in the Rumble. I think it's really good storytelling. They're obviously both very upset still about their loss earlier in the night to AJ Styles for the WWE title. They want that belt, so they attack Ty Dillinger, and Sami inserts himself into the match. You've then got Sheamus, who in a battle of the Gingers is immediately thrown out by Heath Slater, go Heath, then Xavier Woods, then Apollo Crews, and then Shinsuke Nakamura, the man that I think a lot of people want to win because they want to see him go on to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Then enters Cesaro, then Kofi, all of the New Day are in at this point, and then Jinder Mahal, who eliminates Big E and Xavier Woods. He then targets Kofi, who is thrown over the top rope, but ends up with one foot on a stack of pancakes. These Kofi things are getting absolutely ridiculous, but I absolutely love them. And then, in something that I don't think's been done before, he just hops. Why didn't anyone think of that before? Then in comes Seth Rollins with these ridiculous flame tights that definitely were not cool. Meanwhile, Kofi is on the outside. He sort of hopped and pogoed back in. It was amazing. You need to go and watch that. He eliminates Jinder, and then in also traditional Kofi style, as soon as he's done his cool thing, he is thrown over the top rope and is eliminated too. All of the New Day are out. Next up at number 19 is Woken Matt Hardy. He enters the ring, eliminates Rusev. Hey, every man for himself, but sorry Rusev. And then scraps with Bray for a bit. They eliminate each other, continuing their feud. Number 20, John Cena. So everybody piles on John Cena. He's obviously a tremendous threat with his hair implants. Number 21, stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Hurricane Helms, this year's nostalgia entrant. There wasn't one last year, which sucked. Hurricane Helms came down. He went for a choke slam, which was a really nice throwback to the 2002 Royal Rumble with Triple H and Steve Austin. He's immediately thrown out as well. Next up was Aiden English, which I think was really nice because I thought he was just there to introduce Rusev at number 1. And then Adam Cole, baby, which is brilliant because we got 2 NXT entrants this year, and it means that they're going to probably really continue pushing Adam Cole. It can only be a good thing. Then out comes Orton with his terrible hair, then Titus O'Neil, then The Miz. Next up, number 27, and it's none other than Rey Mysterio, who still looks absolutely fantastic. He, of course, holds the reign for the longest time spent in a single Royal Rumble match, and yeah, it was brilliant, like a huge pop. Obviously, it's Rey Mysterio. Then comes Roman Reigns, and all of us are thinking about 2015. He eliminates Seth Rollins. Heat. Number 29 comes out, and it's Goldust. Number 30, we're all thinking, is it going to be The Undertaker? Is it going to be Kurt Angle? It could be anyone. Record scratch, oh my word, it's Dolph Ziggler making what is possibly the most underwhelming return in recent memory. He's eliminated unbelievably quickly, sorry about that, Dolph, but then we get this amazingly cool moment where we've got the old versus the new staring at each other down. On one side, you've got Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Randy Orton, and on the other side, Roman Reigns, Nakamura, Finn Balor. It felt huge and it felt really cool, and it sort of felt like a bit of a passing of the torch-ish maybe. It was just really great. Eventually we get down to 4, Nakamura, Cena, Balor, Reigns. Oh my word, just think about the star power that was in this match. It's unbelievable. We get a bit with Cena and Reigns, and then we get a bit with Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. I would like to see more of that, please. Cena goes on to eliminate Finn, who was the Iron Man of the match. He had a really strong showing. He had eliminations throughout the match, which I think really helped. Eventually, after Shinsuke Nakamura eliminates Cena, it is down to 2 men, Shinsuke Nakamura and the big dog, Roman Reigns. And then, after some really great wrestling, Nakamura hits the Kinshasa and eliminates Reigns. Shinsuke Nakamura wins the Men's Royal Rumble in 2018, and oh my word, what a huge relief. We're going to see AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania. I think I just said versus. A wet dream. I hope nothing happens between now and April to mess that up. But overall, what a match. Loads of people came out looking strong. It was just really fun. There were lots and lots of fun moments, and it's what Rumbles should be. They're unpredictable and they make people look good, and you've got bits of drama and storytelling scattered throughout the match. It was great, and the Rumble feels like it's back on track, and Roman Reigns didn't win. Next up was the KFC Colonel's Rumble, I think the match that most of us were most excited about heading into tonight's pay-per-view. Mojo Rawley eliminated first, which is obviously a disgrace. Eventually, Rusev and Miz were eliminated by Ric Flair in what is his final ever match. What a legacy. And now we have Colonel Flair. It's a heartwarming moment. You know, forget I'm sorry, I love you. He's the... Let's carry on. Then we had the Bar versus Rollins and Jordan. The poor bastards. Rollins, Sheamus, Cesaro, all in the Rumble match. Jason Jordan wasn't. You know, the crowd were absolutely exhausted by this point, and they tried pretty hard, but you're not going to win a crowd who's just seen Nakamura win a Rumble back round that easily. It was fine, it was good. So Jordan got injured on the outside after he was thrown into the ring post by Cesaro. He spent most of the match outside. He tagged himself in eventually, only to tag himself back out because he clearly wasn't in a good state to wrestle. And then eventually Rollins eats the pin. We have new Raw Tag Team Champions in the Bar. A fine match, but as I say, the crowd were just exhausted, and who can blame them? Then came the Universal title match. Braun versus Brock versus Kane, and I think it's fair to say it's exactly what we expected. Braun power slammed Brock through a table, and then Braun got sort of pushed through a table by Kane. It wasn't good, don't go back and watch it. They then of course head outside to the announce tables, of course. Braun gets F5'd through the announce table and then has it pushed on top of him. Kane gets F5'd onto the announce table and the monitors, which looked very, very sore. Eventually it all heads back inside the ring, and Kane is F5'd onto a chair. He eats the pin, of course, we all knew that was going to happen, and still your WWE Universal Champion, the Beast, Brock Lesnar. There's not much you can say about it. It's exactly what we all expected. We then get to the main event, the Women's Royal Rumble, which is fantastic. Number 1 and number 2, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, 2 of the 4 horsewomen. StephBot 5000 is, of course, at ringside to explain how this was her idea, along with other awful marketing buzzwords. I don't know why she was there. She contributed nothing to this match. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I did with the men's because my voice is now starting to go. I've had a lot of beer tonight and I've been shouting quite a lot. I apologise. This was a match that was dominated by nostalgia, which is something that I'm not entirely sure we were ready for after Raw on Monday, the Raw 25th anniversary, which was flooded by countless returning superstars. But anyway, in this match were the following. There are so many, I've actually written them down here. Number 5, Lita. Tori Wilson at number 9. Michelle McCool at number 14. Number 16, excuse me, Vicky Guerrero, who proved that she can still get unbelievable amounts of heat. She is fantastic. I would quite like to see her back. Maybe not wrestling. Jacqueline at number 21, Beth Phoenix at number 24. You've then got Nikki Bella at 27, her sister Brie Bella at 28, and Trish Stratus coming back at 30, a spot that I think all of us were expecting to see Ronda Rousey, who of course comes into play a little later. I think a lot of these returns would have been a lot more impactful had they not returned on Raw 25 earlier in the week. A lot of these faces we did see, but there were some cool moments. You had Trish and Mickie James staring down, of course a throwback to their fantastic rivalry. You had Natty and Beth Phoenix in the ring together one more time, which was really cool, and you had Asuka and Ember Moon squaring off as well, a throwback to their fantastic NXT feud. Nia was eliminated by everyone in the ring, then Sasha eliminated Bayley. I hope that's leading somewhere. Sasha heel turn, please. Sasha then eliminated Trish Stratus, a very strong showing for Sasha, who was then eliminated by both Bella Twins, and then Nikki eliminated Brie, leaving Nikki and Asuka in the ring. There were a few heart-stopping moments here where it looked like Nikki Bella might actually win the Royal Rumble, but common sense for once prevailed, and Asuka is the first ever winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. It's good. It was good. Asuka won. You know, you can't be too annoyed about that. I think the match did rely too heavily on nostalgia. I think the intervals were very short. It felt a little bit rushed. You know, it makes me wonder, like, if they're going to continue with the Women's Royal Rumble match, which they absolutely should, and it's going to stick with 30 entrants, what are they going to do next year? You've used Trish, you've used Lita, you've used Beth Phoenix, you've used all of these great former stars. You need to start investing more in current roster members. That desperately needs to happen if the Royal Rumble next year, the Women's Royal Rumble, is going to be a success. After the match, Asuka is in the ring with the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Looks like she's going to try and make up her mind about who she wants to face at WrestleMania, when all of a sudden we hear some new music and out comes Ronda Rousey. She gets in the ring. All she does is point at the WrestleMania sign. We've seen that many a time before. She goes for a handshake with Asuka. That doesn't happen. Asuka doesn't want a handshake. I think she then points again to the WrestleMania sign, maybe. She gets out of the ring. She shakes Steph's hand, who is still there, of course, and kind of at this time I'm just wondering, what is Steph doing? Like, Rousey has interrupted the celebration of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and Steph doesn't seem too bothered at all, despite the fact that it was definitely all her idea. Yeah, she's just there and she shakes her hand, and then I think there's another point to the sign, and then she walks up the ramp and points to the sign again. A lot of pointing, so she's seen that before. You can tell she's been watching the product. Anyway, overall, it was a really fun show. Yeah, there were weird little problems, but I think they're forgivable. It's the Rumble, and you know, maybe the match ordering could have been shuffled around a little bit, but overall, I think it's been a really fun night. And now I'm dressing like this for 30 days. So hit subscribe.